Hey guys, it's Ellie and welcome back to Earl Books. Today I am doing the sandwich book tag. This tag was created by Josh at Literary Gladiators and he also tagged me, so thank you. It's just a list of questions relating to sandwiches and matching books to those type of sandwiches. You'll see. I've got my trusty little laptop here. The first one is Peanut Butter and Jelly, a work that serves as a great introduction to a particular topic. And I chose Stasiland by Anna Funder. This is a creative non-fiction, I want to say, about East Berlin, East Germany, and the Stasi, who was sort of like the secret police. I read this in my final year of high school, so it's highlighted and everything. And I was probably like the only person in the entire state that liked this book. I just really liked it. I thought it was a great introduction and I'm hoping to reread it this year. Number 2 is Ham and Cheese, a working class book. And I picked The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie, and I'm currently reading this for class. The main character, Junior, is, he and his family are very poor, and yeah, that's like, I don't really know how to describe this book. I'm not sure if I like it or not yet, but I've probably got about 120 pages or so to go. And I'm going to finish this today, so yeah, we'll see what I think. The next one is Grilled Cheese, a great experimental writer, and I picked Virginia Woolf. I've read 2 of her books. I've read A Room of One's Own, and last year I read Mrs. Dalloway for class. I loved Mrs. Dalloway. I thought it was incredible, and I can't wait to read more of her books. The only problem is that I only own a massive collection of her selected works rather than them in like individual, and it is impossible to read. So I'm gonna have to buy myself her books one by one, I think. Next one is Italian, a bestseller you feel people need to check out. The Bad Beginning by Lemony Snicket. Or really the entire series of Unfortunate Events series, yeah. This was the first book series that I ever got into reading. This is the reason I love reading. I know for a lot of people it's Harry Potter, but that sort of came later for me, like maybe like a year later. But this was the first one that I like really loved and read by myself. So I will always adore it, and I'm hoping to reread this one in the next coming days before the Netflix series starts, and I do want to reread the whole series. Turkey is the next one, which is a writer that you cannot go wrong with. And for me, this is kind of going against what Josh said in his video, but for me it's Sylvia Plath. I love everything of hers that I've ever read. I've read Ariel, The Colossus, something else that I can't remember, and I've read The Bell Jar twice, and I just love her work. I just connect to it in a way. Yeah, I don't really know how to describe it, but I just really like her work. The next one I have is 6, which is Steak, a work that is subject to intense arguments. For this one, I picked Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. This is a book that a lot of people love, and I loved it the first time I read it, and then maybe a week later it hit me how disgusting it was. It's got, in my opinion, one of the most awful representations of disability ever, and I can't say why that is without giving away the spoiler, but it just, yeah, I just don't like it. And I have seen some pretty intense arguments over Goodreads. You know, people that loved it and thought it was great, and then people that, you know, had the same sort of problem with it that I do. I've also had I don't know if it was an argument. One of my friends, Sarah, and I had a very long discussion about this in the car one day. We both agreed that it was just awful, but yeah, it was an interesting discussion that we had. The next one is chicken parm, the most fascinating topic you saw turn into a book. For me, that is The Boundless Sublime by Lily Wilkinson. This is a Love Oz YA book about cults. And it's amazing how it got into my head, and at first I was like, this is stupid, and why would you do that? And you know, they drink water that hasn't been cleaned or purified or anything like that, and it just ugh. But there were other things that kind of got in my head, and it was incredible, and kind of scary, but yeah, I would recommend it. The next one I have is Tuna, a work you had low expectations about but turned out being impressed by. For me, that was Touch of Power by Maria V. Snyder. I read this for the last Ribsack round. Before I read this one, I read another series of hers, the Glass trilogy. I tried to read the second book, and it was awful. So then I picked this one up, and I had absolutely no expectations for it whatsoever. And I ended up really liking it, so it surprised me a bit. The next one I have is BLT, which is a morning read. And for this, I picked Aisling by Isabel Carmody, and I picked this because every morning before work, I read a couple of pages, and this is my current morning read, and I've only read 20 pages of it so far. But, yeah, it's what I'm currently reading in the morning. I'm sorry if the framing is a little bit different from the last shot. My camera died, so I had to wait for that to charge. So we've only got 4 questions left, and I couldn't believe that it died, but yeah, let's go. The next one, I think I'm hoping it didn't cut the last question, number 10, which is S'mores, a work you would read while camping. I picked The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss because it's huge. I'm currently reading this. I'm 70 pages in, and I just haven't had time to continue reading this. I was hoping I would read more over the Christmas break, but I just, to be honest, I did nothing. I just lay around, and it was so hot that I just didn't want to move. So I didn't read any of this, but I will. This might be my January January project. Yep. Number 11 is Hero. I've never heard of that kind of sandwich, but okay. Which is an anthology filled with all-star writers. I don't actually own a single anthology written by all-star writers. I only own one anthology at all, and I've never read any but this one. So I have this New Penguin parallel text short stories in French, Nouvelles en Français, edited by Richard Coward, and this is just a collection of stories, and as the name would suggest, it's parallel, so on this side we have French, on this side we have English. I've studied French throughout high school, so that was about 5 years, and I've been out of high school for 3, so I've been doing French for about 8 years, I think. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I really like this, and it's got different authors in there, so yes, I would recommend this. I really enjoyed it. And then the last book question is Dagwood, which I've also never heard of. Americans have weird sandwiches, guys. And that is the largest, most intimidating book you've read. This isn't the largest book I've read, but it's definitely the most intimidating, and that is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. This was intimidating for me because my brother is a huge fan of The Lord of the Rings. When we were growing up, he used to make me watch the movies, or at least he used to try to. But my mum used to tell him off because she thought they were too scary for me. I was like 7. They probably were too scary for me. Yeah, and I read this and I did really enjoy it. I haven't read the other ones yet, but the actual Lord of the Rings. But we'll get to it. My brother loves this series so much that we actually went to New Zealand and did a tour, like a Lord of the Rings location tour, just to make him happy. So yeah. Okay, now we have some non-book questions, just 2. The number 13 is favourite. What is your favourite sandwich? I'm not a huge sandwich person. This is going to sound really weird, but I don't really like bread. Unless it's toasted. Like I like toasted sandwiches, but not really like regular sandwiches, unless it's like fancy bread. But yeah, every night I have supper because I have to give myself insulin, so I need a little bit of food with it most of the time. And I make myself a toasted cheese and ham sandwich. And I think in America you would just call that like a grilled ham and cheese. I don't really know. I do not understand American sandwiches. Yeah. But yeah, I do like a good ham and cheese sandwich, toasted sandwich. And the last question, number 14, is platter, which is who do you tag? I came to the realization that other than Josh, I only know 2 other people on BookTube. So that's going to be a goal of something for me to change in 2017, I think. But the 2 people that I do know that I'm going to tag are Miranda from Books 101. I'm sure you all know her because I talk about her all the time. And then the second person I'm going to tag is Yulene. I hope I said that right. I'm so sorry if I haven't. From The Fictional Reader, and I've been following her blog for ages, and she has a new YouTube channel. And she's a really great person and friend, so I would highly recommend her channel and her blog. And there you go, that was the sandwich tag. Thank you again, Josh, for tagging me and for creating this. And I will see the rest of you some point next week, hopefully. I'll see you all then. Bye.